everybody, and welcome to Planning with Donna. Today I have a junk journaling little mini video for you guys. And what I'm making is I'm trying to start stockpiling all of my supplies that go into my journals. So I know a lot of YouTubers do that, and I just wanted to share a couple things. I had some of this, what I call elementary school writing paper. And I've torn a lot of this down to different sizes, and I will edge everything and make it look old. And then I divided up, I think I have 3 signatures here. And these are 5 pages, so that's 10, so that would be 10 pages each. These are 14. I wanted these to be a little bit thicker because they're going to go in a bigger journal. And then I wanted to share with you guys a lot of the stuff I've been doing. I had some old cardstock type banner cards, and I just cut these into all kinds of different shapes and sizes to use as bands and tags. And I'm going to ink all of these. And then I made a lot of, like I have some of the medium size squares. And then I have a lot of the little minis because I'm going to be doing some little mini pockets in some of my junk journals, and they are super popular. I'm going to be making some little mini envelopes too. So I just wanted to share some of the stuff, and I'm going to have dangles hanging off of these, and then I have big ones. So I wanted to just share some of the little things that are coming your way, and I have also, so that you can be planning to watch for it, I've also torn a lot of older, I went ahead and tore all this out of some ephemera packs that I got, and I'm going to distress the edges. And then yesterday at my dad's, he gave me an old atlas. So I've already torn out some interesting stuff from that, and I'm going to ink the edges of all of these papers and use these in my junk journal as well. So I wanted to give you all a heads up on some of that. And I've got some old pieces I'm going to use for belly bands and stuff like that. I stamped some pages. These are pink. And then I did, I distressed these pages with some brown front and back and stamped them. And I will be doing some of that on camera. I used a stencil that I had, because I want to put, I'm doing a pink journal, and a bunch of stamps that went on this to make it look like aged paper. And then of course I'm going to be laminating this. So I just wanted to share that you will be seeing a lot of this stuff coming up in my junk journaling videos. So I wanted you to have something to look forward to. So let's get on with today's. I'm making a tablet, 2 tablets as a matter of fact, for my junk journal. For 2 different junk journals. So I have my papers ready to go, okay? I have my band that's going to go over the top. This is my paper. Now, I went ahead and cut it down. It does not have to be any particular size. You can do whatever size that you want. But I have to turn this way. This is going to be the flap that goes over the top, and this will go right like that. So your papers will just sort of be in here. I want to center these, and then my flap, I may have to end up cutting off some of this. It doesn't need to be that far down. I just want it to cover like right here. So let's go ahead and do that and get that started. I think I'm going to cut off about that much, and then of course I can save this for a belly band or whatever. Now, I want to cover this, so I'm going to take some of my strips and I'm going to glue them down because I don't want you to be able to see the edges. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this strip off right here, and I'm going to only need about that much. I don't really measure. I know that when I watch the ladies that I watch, sometimes they measure, sometimes they don't. It just depends. And basically what I'm trying to do here is make it to where when this paper is laid against this here, you have a green background. So in case I was not, you know, clear as mud, now you know. So I want to put another strip. This has got a little bit of a little edge on it I want to trim off. I hope everybody's day is going good. I've been trying to go ahead and get some stuff pre-filmed just because I know that I'll be spending some extra time with my granddaughter over break, which will be starting next week. And I have taken off a little bit of time to spend with her. So I really am looking forward to that a bunch. So I'm just going to nip this end off. And we'll do that. So I'm going to go ahead and get out my glue stick. And my mat that I use. And I don't know if you all have this problem in your area, but I tell you, I've been trying to find a handyman, and I am just flabbergasted. I mean, flabbergasted at how there is basically nobody around that can do anything like that, seemingly. I mean, you just can't get anybody to do anything for you anymore. Like, it's sort of crazy. I just can't really even believe it. Like, I need a ceiling fan hung, and I need some trim work done that's just finished trim work. This stuff that just didn't get finished whenever I moved here. And just finding somebody to do that. You can't get anybody to do anything anymore. I don't know if it's that they don't have the skill or they are just lazy. Probably a little bit of both. So we got that part down. I'm going to go ahead and just go up through here on this part and put it down. I just don't want you to be able to see the white background. There we go. Get that on there. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. It is a junk journal. I like to try to keep that in mind. I get reminded that pretty much every day when I'm watching these videos. It is a junk journal, people. So don't get crazy if it's not perfect. So put this one here. Here we go. That glue, you wouldn't believe how quick that adheres. Like, it's a little bit crazy how fast that catches on. And I know I've had it a couple times where I'm like, oh my goodness, like, I'm not going to be able to get this up. So, here we go. Put this one down. Okay. Now, if we have a little run over, that's fine. I can just rub that off with my finger. Now, the thing that I want to do now is we're going to come here, we're going to get our papers, and I want to place them strategically on here. And I want to be able to see exactly where I need to fold this over. So we're going to line it up and try to get it as straight as possible. And I'm just going to do that. And then I'm going to get this out of the way because it's got sticky on it. I'm just going to take this. And I don't have a scoreboard. And that is an object that you can score this and it'll make it easier to fold. But I'm just going to take my bone folder that I got in a little kit. And I'm just going to crease it as good as I can. I'm just going to trim off any little edges that are overhanging that you see, like right here. You can just trim those off with your scissors. There, perfect. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take our pages and we're going to put them up in here. And I'm going to try to get them even on both sides. I'm going to fold that down. I like that. And then this will go right here. I'm going to punch some holes and do some twine. But before I do that, I'm going to get out my quarter rounder. And since this is so big, I think I am going to do my corners. I think it just looks really pretty that way. And I'm going to round those off. I want to try to get them in here right. There we go. Now, I'm going to round these as well. I love this corner rounder. Like, I really love it. It is so easy to use. If I can get it in here. Straight. Come on. Why is this not lining up? There we go. Technical difficulties, people. Technical difficulties. Operator error. Oh my goodness. There we go. Helps if I actually do what I was doing, wouldn't it? All right. It has been almost 80 here today, guys. So that looks pretty sweet. I'm liking it. Now let's go ahead before we do all that and let's get out our Distress ink. I am using Tim Holtz Vintage Walnut Stain. And I'm just going to go around these edges. Put a little bit of age to them. You don't want to watch this part. I know, it's like watching paint dry. I'll try to get as much of this stuff inked before I go on camera as possible, but I wanted to show you my whole process. I didn't want to leave anything out because I do have a lot of new viewers and they are really wanting to get into junk journaling, and they want this to be something that they know from start to finish. They don't want me leaving anything out. So, and sometimes it's easier if you just do this. It's a whole lot faster. There we go. I do like my edges, my corners especially, sort of dark. I just think it really adds something. There we go. And then, of course, when you do your crease, it really defines your crease. So I think that looks pretty sweet. And I'm not really worried about like the back or anything, just because this is not, it's going to be glued down on the back panel of my junk journal. This will go like in the back panel of the journal, and it'll be a little tablet there. So there's that. I'm going to take some of my, and I'm just going to knock on the edges of this, and I'll just show you how I'm going to do it, just like this, going on your edges. I'll age those up a little bit. Makes them look a little bit more rustic. And I'll go back and do the ones underneath off camera just because, you know, I don't want to put you all through that hot mess. I just wanted you to see a little bit of the process so you know exactly what direction to head. So now that we've got our pages distressed and inked, and you get the general idea of putting them in here. Like I said, they don't have to be perfect. We're going to fold that over. We're going to do this. Let me just do, I really like the corners. And make sure you get those holes because that really pronounces the holes. Okay, we're going to take this and we're going to put it down right like, that's pretty good. Then I'm going to take my hole punch. Hopefully it will reach. I hope. There we go. If I can turn it the right way, it would be good. Oh. And oh, there we go. So now all we have to do is take whatever twine, ribbon, whatever you want. I'm going to do jute just because I think that that's the easiest thing to do. So I'm going to go in through the front. I want to glue this down first. That would make a lot more sense, wouldn't it? Okay. I'm just gluing it over here on this paper so y'all don't have to be tortured. Okay. Got that all wiped off. There we go. And okay, we're going to go in through the front, pull it up, and we're going to go back in the front this way. And I'm going to cut even. Get that out of the way. Okay. And you can do a bow or whatever. You could do, just knot it or whatever you want to do and call it done. And there you go. Now, obviously, I don't have a small child's finger to borrow. So that's not as tight as it should be. But there is my first little notebook. So now when you're at the very back of the thing, of the book, you have these pages that you can write front and back on. And you can take this apart and add more pages if you want to. So that's our first one done. Now, if you want to put in any kind of embellishments or anything like that on here, you could do that. I mean, that's totally something that would be like up to you if you want to put a few little embellishments there. I mean, like I've got, let's see, I got a little butterfly here that might be cute just to put right there. And then all you have to do is just rub over top of that butterfly and make him look aged, and he's done. So that's our first one. I think it turned out pretty sweet. So let's go ahead and do one that's not aged. So I'm going to take my, here we go. Now, this is white. This is going to come over the front. And where this is white, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. I've already cut out a bunch of just white paper because this journal's only going to be distressed in the pink. So I'm going to glue down. I'm going to flip this over so as not to stain. And I am going to lay this down. Get all my ink, my glue on here. I almost said ink. Try to get it on here real evenly as I can. There we go. That should do. And then we're just going to lay it down. To make sure it's good and smooth. All right, so this isn't exactly perfect. As you can see, I have an edge here. And I got some, the thing that's great about this glue is that, well, for one thing, this will be on the back. It won't really matter. But it dries clear. So we're just going to edge this up because I have a little overhang here. All right, got that all fixed. All right, now we've got our pages. I'm going to come down just a little bit and let's see. We are going to have to, I'm going to cut off some of the bottom of this. Just going to mark it like that. Get out my paper trimmer just because I couldn't cut a straight line if I tried. All right. Line this up again. Okay. Let's put that little indentation there. We're going to fold it over. And then we're going to burnish it. And that's crooked. As straight as possible. You can use the edge of a scissor or anything like that. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to do the medium this time on my corners. This came from Amazon. I actually used Julie's affiliate link from her channel. I think I'm going to leave my corners straight this time. Okay, that's perfect. And I'm going to get out this. And I'm going to line up straight across, about right there. There's our holes all punched. Okay, then I'm going to take my pencil. And I'm going to punch these holes because that was a lot to put in one punch. But this is a pretty little, there we go, got it. And I'm going to line that back up. Move some of my papers moved. There we go. So there, we got it nice and lined up. Now, what are we going to use? Let me see if I can find something that I like. I think that'll do for now. So I'm going to take this through the front. Back through from the back. And as you can see, this is a little bit more of a girly one. And I'm going to flatten this out just so we don't have a bunch of bulkiness back here. There we go. Nice, and pull that a little bit more. Flatten it out again. There we go. Perfect. Going to take my ribbon. We're going to chomp it. Okay, get that out of the way. There. And where this is a little bit more silky, I'm going to pull it just a little bit more taut. I don't know how Julie does it, but she does like the bunny rabbit ears. And then she folds it like this. And I don't know how she manages to get that bow to do that, but she does. Let me get my finger on it. Oh, there we go. Well, let me do some repairs here. There we go. And I like my ribbon to be, if I can get it to roll. I used to be one that could work really super good with ribbon. And anymore, it's like, no, not so much. I think I'm going to do the bow like I'm used to doing. I think it works out better that way. Yeah, like that. There we go. Because it doesn't have to be all perfectioned. All right. And if you wanted to, you could even take and put this bow, like flatten it out a little bit with an iron. If you wanted to. There we go. As far as I'm concerned, that's good enough. You get the general idea of what I'm saying. So now we have one like this, and what I was going to do with it was, if I can find my, yeah, here we go. I'm going to find my bigger ones. This big boy, because it goes so much faster. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to do. Like to come in from the side. Going to do paper and all. I'm just going to do this front one pretty heavy because I want it to have that look to it. That's sort of like the paper's pink too. I'm not going to go through here and like color every paper just because I think that would be serious overkill. But I just wanted you all to see the effect once I get some of this distressing on here, how pretty it really is. And this is Fired Brick, Tim Holtz Distressed Ink. It's called Fired Brick. And I'm just going to lift up this bow as to not get it in the here we go. And we have another little tablet that will go in the back of our planners. So, that was a nice, quick little tutorial that didn't last 16 days that I felt like would be something that you all would enjoy. Now, if you wanted to embellish this with like something like that underneath it, you could do that. You could put that like under here, but I feel like with the bow, it's a little much, if you know what I mean. And when I say this will go in the back of your journals, I want you to see what I'm talking about. I have this journal that I'm still working on and have been for a hot minute. It's pretty much bent now, where I've had it laying in all the wrong spots. But like if you have a journal like this, and this has not already been done, like this back page is, nothing's on it, that would lay, and preferably something that's exactly that size, but it would be like all the way down to here. And then you could put in something like a belly band or a pocket down here. If you used a belly band and glued that across, you would pull this like so, and it would go under that belly band like that and hold that book into place. So you see what I mean when I say you can put a belly band across it and flip it in there, or you can have a pocket down here at the bottom glued here, here, and here, and then the bottom of this would just slip right in here at the bottom and hold it into place. So either way. So, all right, guys, I hope that you found these two little mini notebooks something of interest and something that you might try for your junk journal. If you do, please take a picture and tag me and let me see your creations as well. And I hope that you enjoyed this and found it useful. If you did, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And guys, I'll see you on my very next junk journaling video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.